Hello my friends and welcome back to the FM Creators YouTube channel. My name is Don and I'm going to cover this little mini series on this channel instead of my own channel because I think should be where this belongs. This is my episode 0 for the Creator Community League and where I review my squad. Now we do have some problems with this squad that's going to be apparent later on as I go through it. And obviously, just as an introduction for the Creators Community League, there are 16 predominantly creators who have came together to create this custom database ran by Oblique Kick Gaming. Everyone will be doing various bits during this series, and Oblique Kick will be the sort of primary runner of this series, and he has had this fantastic idea that he has put together, and I think it has got outstanding potential to develop later on. So let's see where we are. So this is my team, and before we get into that, I'm going to show you the teams that we have all around the league. So all these people are creators, apart from I think Mwepu Attack, which is Sasa, and he's a creator at heart. You know, he looks after all of us, makes us laugh, and helps us out. So he is an honorary creator for this series, and fixtures are obviously going to be randomised every time you load them up. And there's some very, very good teams throughout this save. Keeb's also loaded up as a team because basically I've taken over Oblique Kick Save to go over this and just sort of introduce this. So we're going to get in to my team, and I am going to actually go through this in pick order. So I'm just going to quickly get up the picks for my draft as we go through that, and we'll go through. And my first pick, now I got the first pick of the draw, was Erling Haaland. The very first pick, which is Erling Haaland, and I thought this was a solid pick. Now, it could be based over one season, it could be based over 2 or 3, but either way, I think Haaland is a solid pick. The most informed player in world football right now. Very good on FM, obviously, from Dortmund. We have nabbed him direct from Salzburg, however, for chemistry reasons and the way that it's been done on the database. As you can see, currently operating at Community League level, which is solid, and can successfully be retrained as a right winger. Now that's not going to be too much of an issue going forward. Second pick, we went straight in for our fullback, so we've got Alexander Arnold next. Anyone who watches my channel will know that Alexander Arnold is probably the perfect fit for my sort of style. I base a lot of my tactics on how the fullbacks or wingbacks can add an attacking dynamic. So I'm glad to get Alexander Arnold in, and that is why he was my second pick. And because it was a snake draft, which means it goes 1 to 16, 16 to 1, and then so forth from there. So you're rotating. I was obviously number 1 pick, so I would get 2 picks in a row at this point. And I followed that up by going for the other side, nice and simple. Andy Robertson. Now I'm doing a Queen's Park save, so I wanted a nod to that. But also, again, I like good fullbacks or wingbacks, whatever way you want to describe it, in my team. And again, is there anyone better on the left than Andy Robertson in world football right now? Probably not. There's a couple that you could argue with, but for me, he's the best left back in the world. I'm Scottish, I'm doing a Queen's Park save. There's just no better player for me to give that feel. The next player kind of wasn't my first choice for this position, I'll be honest, but I think it actually works out really good, is Joe Gomez. When I actually look at what my requirements are for a centre back, I want a right footed centre back, I want a left footed centre back. Right footed centre back who are already gone were Van Dijk, Varane, and Marquinhos when I picked Joe Gomez. And I like quick centre backs that can jump, decent in the air, good in the tackle with decent positioning, and can pass the ball. And Joe Gomez kind of has all of that, so I think it's actually worked out really well. It wasn't my initial list. The only thing that I don't like is he likes to play his way out of trouble, but resolute personality should help, and he should be okay. On the other side, we have a left footer, as I said, 1 right, 1 left. He's not quite as good physically as Joe Gomez, but mentally and technically he's better, and it is Samuel Umtiti, the Barcelona man. So again, it doesn't really highlight a whole lot in terms of team dynamics, and that's something I'm going to go into. He wasn't actually my next pick. I've kind of skipped ahead 2 here So we're going to go back, and my next pick actually was Gianluigi Donnarumma. I felt I needed a goalkeeper. A lot of goalkeepers had gone by this point, and I had the choice between Donnarumma and Ederson. We've got a young team, so I felt let's go with Donnarumma. I know Ederson isn't that old by goalkeeping standards, but let's have the 20-year-old Gianluigi Donnarumma in there. And then it was a Ruben Neves was my next pick. Again, I wanted that creative flair in the midfield. Someone who can cover just about everything. And Ruben Neves can do that. He also has very good free kick taking, good long shots, great passing, good vision, good decisions. All these things, the kind of things that I look for in my midfield. Good technique as well. You know, he could probably take corners at a push as well. I don't actually know how good our corner takers are, but he's very, very solid. Could also fill in at right back in emergency situations for some reason. Not convinced that is something that I would want to look at. So then we did go for Samuel Umtiti, who we've covered. He is our left side one. And then we went for the wings, and we went first of all for Angel Correa. Again, not my first choice pick, but he's fairly solid. You know, he's reasonably quick, not the quickest. Got very good flair, great off the ball, great passing, great technique, good first touch, good crossing. He's not quite perfect. He wasn't my first choice. I don't think he's even my second choice, but he's very, very solid. For some reason, wants to play as an inverted winger, an advanced forward, an inside forward before being a winger, but he is right-footed. Can also cover up top and in the middle and on the left-hand side if need be, depending on where my assistant manager picks him, because obviously the assistant manager will pick for the series. We then followed that up with Marco Reus. Now I do have some question marks over Reus. He's the most experienced player in our team at 30 years old. He does have a history of injury problems, of course, which isn't ideal. But overall, he's outstanding. Again, he wasn't my first or second pick for this role, but you can't always win them. And I think that Marco Reus will be very, very good if he stays fit. We then had our last couple of picks for the round, and we went for Florentino Luis to be our sort of midfield steal. Now, I'll be truthful and say that I have not heard of this lad. He has 11 appearances for Benfica, so you know he's decent. He's got okay stats, decent at passing. We'll say decent, he's okay at passing, it's a bit of a weakness. Reasonable at marking, great in the tackle, great teamwork, great positioning, great decisions, good concentration, great composure, very aggressive, moral citizen personality, which I only discovered as I was looking through this. I'm very, very excited to have him in my team. I'm hoping that my assistant manager picks him because he will develop rapidly with that 16 determination. And, you know, I think, and moral citizenship personality, of course, he will develop rapidly and be an outstanding player for us by the end of the season. And I think that he could be something very, very special. And I actually think if you're doing a top team save, this guy is probably one of the guys that I'd put very much on my short list to sign very, very quickly. You know the quality player we've got, and he's got a 5-star quality, 5-star ability. He's going to be something special. And last for our starting 11, I'm just moving my scroll bar along, is Kai Havertz. Another young player. Now most of my players are young, but another outstanding player. Obviously at Bayer Leverkusen, valued at about £100 million in real life just now. Plays his shots and plays 1-2s for his traits. Light-hearted, not the best personality in the world, but he's solid enough. Okay determination, great off the ball, great vision, great decisions, great composure, good first touch, great technique, physicals are good. All these things help develop a player. And then we were on to our subs bench. Now, our weakest area, I feel, first team wise, is the wings. So that was where I started. And the player doesn't just cover the wings in this instance, he covers just about everywhere in the midfield and probably could play up front at a push as well. We've gone for the forgotten wonder kid, Julian Draxler. Outstanding player to have on your bench. And, you know, either footed, fairly professional, 25 now, so he is getting on a bit. But he can cover every position that we have in the midfield, apart from really the ball winner, if you like. So I'm excited to see him come in. And to get him on the subs bench, I think gives my assistant manager decisions to make. And obviously with it only being an 18-man squad, it gives us good depth and coverage. Likes to cut in from both wings, likes to switch the ball to the other flanks, tries tricks. Which isn't great for 15 flair, unfortunately, I don't think. But, you know, each to their own. I think overall he is a very, very solid pick though. And then our other issue was fullback and centre back coverage. So I got someone to cover all those positions again, and we went for Nacho. Again, covers everywhere across the back, right-footed professional from Real Madrid. Again, an experienced player which I felt would be important for us. His jumping reach maybe lets him down at centre back. His crossing and his dribbling maybe lets him down going forward. As an attacking wing back, which I would like. But, you know, he's solid enough. I think he would hold his own, and he is good backup for us covering 3 positions, which was really important for me when it comes to picking my subs. As you're going to see with the next picks, because they can all cover more than one position, and that is really not the case, as I'm going a bit sarcastic. The next one we had was Joe Matip, another one from Liverpool, right sided centre back. Can cover centre defensive mid should we want that, or the ball winner in midfield as well if we needed to, and both the flanks in the defence at a push. Not ideal when he's got 7 crossing, so kind of hopefully he doesn't have to do that, but he's got great positioning, great physicals. That jump and reach will be absolutely massive for us. Good marking, decent passing, another solid all-round defender. For a ball player though, vision is quite low, so that's a criticism you can have of Joe Matip. The other issue, great thing with him, is he's retired from international football, so he's not going to have too many issues in terms of international fatigue for us, which a lot of other players will have. We then picked our backup striker, Luka Jovic. Again, he can actually cover in other areas if need be, you know, left, the right, and in the 10. Solid finisher, decent physicals, technicals maybe let him down a little bit, but he's just a goal scorer, and that's why I went for him. I think my choice at this point was between him and Karim Benzema. Both the Real Madrid strikers were available, and I just felt we've got a young team. I had a couple of experienced players with Nacho, Matip, Draxler and Royce coming in. Let's go back to our roots, bring in the young lad. Again, he could kick on and develop if my assistant decides he wants to play him over Haaland. I'm hoping that he plays Haaland over Jovic though, because that would be my preferred option, but obviously I'm relying on an assistant manager to make those decisions for me. Then we picked another great wonder kid of the past. Still is a wonder kid, perfectionist personality. Beautiful, which means he might actually develop on this game. It's Martin Odegaard. Again, can cover so many positions. Can cover our midfield. Again, not really going to be the midfield steel backup for Florentino Luis. That is definitely our weakest area if my assistant decides that he doesn't want to play Florentino Luis. Extra backup is a bit of a gamble in that role as well. But overall he can cover that role, he can cover the wings, he can cover 10 if need be, he can cover the 9 if need be as well. So I'm excited to bring in Martin Odegaard. Lots of greens there as well, as you see, dribbling, first touch, finishing maybe lets him down, but passing technique, vision, decisions, flair, all very, very good. In fact, as a midfield playmaker, I think he's actually pretty outstanding for a backup and could come straight in. We then have our last 2 picks, and I saved my goalkeeper backup for almost last. And the reason why I say almost last is because I knew nobody was going to pick my last pick, and we went for Kepa. Basically, I don't trust the assistant manager, so I brought in an assistant manager. It's kind of the logic there. In truth, he was a very, very good goalkeeper that was still left. He's very, very similar to Donnarumma, so my assistant managers again got a decision here. Both of them, I wouldn't be upset if either one of them was played in truth. Both are very, very good goalkeepers. I think my preference would be slightly to Donnarumma, but no harm in having Kepa in there as well. I think he'd be a very, very good option. And then finally, our last pick is Ross McCrorie. Stat-wise, you have got questions over him. But this is a sentimental pick for me now. Anyone who's watched my channel knows I am a Rangers fan. I do lots of Rangers saves. Ross McCrorie has been my captain for the past 2-3 FMs. I've won more trophies with Ross McCrorie as captain than I have with any other player in general. So it's a sentimental pick. I know where he can develop to. I know what he can become. I know that he can be that ball winner. I know he can play as a half-back. I know he can play as a ball-playing defender. Right back's been added in this recent update, so I'm hoping his potential's not actually been hit too hard now that he's been at Plymouth, Portsmouth rather, on loan of course, and he's been playing there a little bit, so I'm kind of hoping his potential hasn't been hit, because I know exactly where that potential is. And if it's been hit, then this pick is not a good pick. But sentimentality, solid backup midfielder with stats kind of in the right places. And again, another Scottish pick. So for me, this was the pick that I had to make. Anyway guys, I'm going to leave this here. Make sure you go and check out every other creator's content. They all have some fantastic stuff. And I'll hopefully see you for the next episode that we cover. All the episodes for this, for me, will be on the FMC channel. So lots of content coming out. We've got staff videos recorded, just ready to get edited and uploaded, coming out soon as well. And anything else you want to see on the channel, let me know down below, and I'll hopefully catch you all next time.